Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. This is day 5. As anticipated, day 4 did not go so well for me because I was trying to bring in the responsive design like in half an hour, which did not really happen because I did not give much of context to the AI to start with, let's say to ChatGPT. And that was a real struggle because I was anticipating or assuming that it has all the context to start with, but then I realized later that I had to pinpoint the problem because it could not really understand what the problem was. So that was a real challenge, and that's some positive news for the developers because I think AI has not evolved to that extent that it can replace us at this point, at least. So maybe today's episode I'm going to approach in a way that I'm going to give as much context as possible at the start itself so that we avoid the struggle and then try to see whether it can generate the right kind of solutions. We are going to still continue with the responsive design itself because I could not completely achieve what I was thinking in the last episode. We still have to cover the hero section as well as the footer before the whole responsive design is completed for the whole landing page. So that's what I am going to focus today. So let's get started. So let's start right away with the design. I think this is pretty much okay right now. I was just starting with the responsive design itself. So if you look at the navbar, which is pretty decent right now, there are still some alignment issues which can still sort out. But if you look at the hero section, it's all messed up. So I think the first step is to just point to the hero section than looking at overall. So I'm just going to go see what's already there in the hero section. I'm going to ask the GPT to look for what is already there in this section. I want to complete the responsiveness SRENS for the hero section whose code looks like this. Please wait for the CSS to be also shared before providing the generated responsive code. So I'm just asking you to look through the current one and wait for my next instruction. So I already given it the hero section component which is created in Vue. So I'm just now going to give it the style as well, the hero section style. I'm feeling like I'm only going to give it this section. Let it generate the other section which is needed because I don't want it to get confused with whatever we have already. Please generate the responsive code for hero section. I am looking mainly for mobile responsiveness in all of the major iOS and Android platforms and screen resolutions. Let's see what it generates. So this is my requirement. Whatever it's going to generate, I'm directly going to use it. So I think I should have also given some context, more context, like works for larger screens. Here is a recap. It's good whatever it does right now to make your hero section responsive, especially for mobile devices across major. We need to adjust the CSS using media queries. The key is to ensure that the content scales down appropriately on smaller screens and that the layout remains visually appealing and functional. Understands a lot. I'm hoping it generates the right kind of CSS for this one. So CSS looks like this. We already have it. 1200 is where we are limiting the web media query for this. So let's see what it has. It is aligning the text to center, which is a good sign, but I'm wondering how it will handle the image. So image takes full width, add some space above the image. So we need to look at what explanation it is giving. Explanation and testing, flex direction, media query flex direction columns tags the hero section content and hero image vertically, which is good. That is what we wanted. Font size reduces for better readability on smaller screens. Very good. Center alignment, text and elements are centered to maintain a balanced appearance. Image adjustment, the image is set to take full width and is moved below the text content. Absolutely. This time it has generated, at least I'm hoping that it has generated the right code which we need, because this is what I was hoping, that it has to be centered, the image has to come down so that whatever padding is right now added is not appearing. All of that should happen. So I am just blindly copy pasting. Let's see how it looks. This is so good. This is so good. So hero section is arranged, aligned well. If you can look at it, there is some padding issue. I think we have to still ask to be sorted. It could be an overall container issue. We might have to even point to the app.js and ask that to also be responsive, and that's what I feel. So I might have to give it even the app.css, but I don't see any reason for app.css to have an issue. But there is a padding for sure, and because this image is still moving outside a little, so we can even inspect and see what is going wrong there. So it's a flex image. There is only a margin top, which cannot lead to an issue. Maybe we can ask, is there any padding? I see, because of some padding, the hero section is moved to the right. Can you identify the issue? Let's check, because I'm not able to clearly understand the problem there. But this definitely needs a fix, because it does not look really good. The issue you're experiencing with the hero section being shifted to live, excessive padding on the margin applied. Examine the padding applied to both hero and hero container. If there is a padding on both these elements, it might be causing the content to shift. So it's saying 4 rem. Let's go back and check on the hero section styles. Let's review it, maybe make some changes and see in specifically in this space, reduce the padding. Maybe we'll comment out and see. No. No, that did not fix it. Remove right padding, which, what is the other code it generated? It's like header hero container 015 padding. Standard padding should not cause issues. Hero container, do I have it? Hero container, but again it could also be some padding which is coming from the base also. So if, let's say, if I comment this out, do I see any? Yeah, that was a 1, I guess. That was a 1. But again, the image is a little big. No, I think this was a problem. Looks pretty good. I think this is where the fix has happened. I think this is the problem. But if, let's say, we expand it, one way of it to at least fix this is to, in the hero container, in the here we need to fix that. Then like we just make it as 0. I guess that will fix it. If you comment this, yeah, that was pushing it. So basically this is the fix. But I don't know why it pointed to an extent, but then it should have also created this. But it mentioned that hero container, they examine the padding applied to hero, and if there is a padding on both these elements, it might cause. Okay, it was pointing in the right direction, which is good. And what was it suggesting? Yeah, whatever we did, very good. So I did not look at this side. So remove right padding on smaller screens, which is good. Also, this might cause shifting. Ensure that the padding in the hero content is not causing the shift, especially the padding right property. I think we also had it for padding right for hero content. I think let's even move this. This is padding right to rem. If let's say even I keep this as 0, what should I be doing? Hero content padding is also 0. That's, I think even I need to do that. That's already, yeah, this I think remove right padding. It was doing it, but this was the one, I think. Is that the one? Yeah, that's fine. This was the one. So we fixed it. We don't have any padding applied, which has fixed it. So at least now our hero section is pretty good. And even this one was already okay. And even that was one of the reasons there was some padding over here too. So hero section is well and good. I'm happy with this design. Maybe the image could have moved up, but I guess that's fine. That is another thing we can still ask. I think that's happening because we have the design like this, a left and right. So that's the reason it's pushing it down. So which is fine for me. Now let's move to the footer. So this worked. So I'm just going to say that worked. Now let's focus on the footer and make that responsive to as per the previous context I had given. So I'm gonna share the code. This is my footer component. Wait for the CSS as well before generating the footer responsiveness, footer responsive code. Yeah. So given the context, I'm hoping this also gets done sooner so that we can then move into day 6 and then start on building the remaining things which I'm interested mostly, which is building the backend to start with, where I'll be fetching all the YouTube videos which I have and then embed that in the website. That's what I'm planning to do. So let's go to the footer, and then I think I'm just not going to give the media query part, which is for the mobile devices. Remaining I'm going to let it generate again. I'm just going to replace it. That's better, I guess. This is the footer CSS. Yeah, so let it create and let's read through whether whatever it's trying to bring is okay or not. I think maybe as a first step I would want the subscription to move up, because that has to be prominent, because anybody coming into a responsive web view, a mobile view, should see the subscription before anything, anything in the sense before they move into the other sections. So let's see what happened. So maybe I'll also ask to make your footer section responsive, especially for mobile devices. We need to adjust the CSS using media queries. Okay, the goal is to ensure that the footer's content stacks vertically on smaller screens, providing a clean and readable layout. Media query for mobile screens. We will add a media query for screens smaller than 760. The key changes include stacking the columns vertically. It's providing the same kind. Stacking the column vertically, aligning the text to center, footer column first, margin right 0, social media links. Maybe I'm directly going to apply this and see how it looks, and then we'll decide and ask for the more changes. Maybe flex direction, the media query flex direction column is used to stack the columns vertically, which is good. Width adjustment setting flex 0, 0, 100 ensures that each column takes the full width of the container. Text alignment centering, which is fine. Newsletter form adjusting the width of input and button elements to 100%, making them more accessible on mobile devices, which is good. Testing, test the layout on various mobile devices to ensure footer items stack vertically. Adjust font sizes, padding, margin. Yeah, ensure that the footers layout transitions smoothly between desktop and mobile views. Apply these, your footer should be responsive. Yeah, let's see. So I'm trusting at least now, because to an extent I feel, because it generated the right one for the previous one, which is the hero section. I'm hoping this should also be working. Let's see. So it's done. Go back. Oh, brilliant. Only thing is it's not completely taken the width, which is a little funny. And also this stacked, I think this button should not come down, I feel. Or maybe it can, because it's more of a mobile device where the button will be too small to be clickable. So it's fine that it came down. And one of the things which really is good is that the newsletter section is already below, so it has already moved it, I guess, compared to a mobile. No, it was already there. So because the design was like that, even in a responsive design, it at least achieved that kind of at least the stacking was okay for me, so which is fine. So with this, I guess let's go easy. Logo is not centered, which is, we can check why. Thing again, footer column, footer logo. I think there was no center. Text alignment, text align center should have been there, I guess. No, or what is it? Footer logo. Okay, it should have been footer column. Footer column is carrying everything. So ideally, if footer column was center aligned, it could have even made that center. Maybe we can ask. I would say footer, the Let's Code Easy logo is not centered. Also, this one is not taking the whole space. So form, it could have taken. What is it? What is limiting it? Maybe there is some percentage applied. So I can say newsletter, the subscription buttons are not center aligned. I mean, it's not taking the whole space, whole width of this one, which is another problem which we see. But okay, I think majorly I'm happy even with this, because it's stacked well. So let me go back and at least explain the problems which is faced right now. Almost worked, but there are a couple of issues. One, Let's Code Easy image, logo image, I'll call it logo image, in the footer is still left aligned. Second one is the form, the subscription form, text input and button are not taking the 100% of the width of the mobile resolution. Two issues. Let's see whether it can give us some suggestions. But pretty happy. This was a productive day. I guess I feel I can wrap it up early today so that I can focus on the bigger things which is coming in the coming days. Okay, something it is giving. Well, let's read through. Address these issues in the responsive design of your footer. We'll make some specific adjustment to the CSS for the Let's Code Easy logo image and subscription form elements. Center align the Let's Code Easy logo image, which is text column center. I think this is what even I was imagining, because I applied it somewhere here, which did not happen. This is what makes it centered. Margin 0 auto. Logo respects the margin auto. Height auto adjust height as needed. Max height 100 pixel. Let's start applying and see. So flex footer column needs a text align. Let's see if it changed anything. Though good, it's already center aligned. This was already there, margin 0 auto, so because of which it is already good. These things were already anyway working. So this is fixed, which also made even this subscription newsletter was, I think, left aligned previously, which is also center aligned. I was about to ask that, but then again it fixed it by itself. Other good part is this is now centered. I think it fixed one part of it. So but I was asking it to make it 100%, which is here right now. I think it is saying width 100%. Maybe we can try it. So in newsletter input, which was 100%, because it was limited to max width 100. That's the reason it had to limit itself. And I think this was fine for maybe the previous one where it was, yeah, here we were limiting or we were not. Newsletter input was not limited. It was width was getting calculated. Calculation was 100% minus 20 button, so it was more calculating based on the button width. Here it's not the case, so it's just limited. We can even get rid of that and then see whether it's good. I am optionally limit max width for aesthetics. Okay, that's a good suggestion, but this, I think I can live with this. So I don't want to limit it to a specific width. Maybe this looks even better for me. And yeah, this is cool. I'm happy with this design change, which instantaneously happened, and it's already responsive, which is wonderful because I can wrap it up early and it's already how I wanted it to be. So I think I'm pretty much at the last one. I was hoping this is going to be another long day because considering day 4, this was a breeze, because day 4 I struggled because I did not give much context. I was trying to fix everything together. I was just asking generate the responsive design for everything together, and it did not work well. So I guess this is how a better prompting will work. You just give the focus prompt, like the focus context, ask it what you want. Even I did not ask much because I think as a best practice it was giving me everything in one go. Like you make it centered, make the font smaller, make for accessibility, make the input bigger, buttons bigger, and all of that, right? So which made it better responsive already. I think because of which I think today it saved a lot of time for me, and which is a good positive of using generative AI. But yeah, this was a lessons learned for me too, that to work with generative AI you need to be on the spot and give us as much context as possible so that it gives you better results. I guess this is what I will be focusing on in the coming days whenever I'm trying to building, let's say, the backend too, and give as much context as possible, and then try to get as much input as soon as we can, which is why we should be using generative AI currently for our productivity. It's like we know that it cannot replace us any soon, but it can be really productive for us. So that's the focus and goal in the coming episode. So I guess with this, I am closing this episode because whatever I wanted to achieve is already achieved. Um, let's go to the next one, which is going to be more interesting, which is going to be building the backend, then integrate that to the front end, and then use all the best practices which is possible. And that's the other part. Like we need to keep asking whether it's following the right principle, solid principle, and everything. And whenever it is generating something, I think we also need to write now some test cases. I think that's where it is going to excel. I have heard that the test suite test cases which it can write the automated way, most of the automation things which, let's say, we were doing earlier, it can, we don't really need to spend too much time on generating all of the test suite which is needed. So that's an interesting space that we have to start looking in the coming episodes, where we are allowed to completely leverage the capability of generative AI in building the solution. I think so. Um, hoping for a thrilling journey going forward. So keep watching, keep subscribed, share this one, like this one, and stay subscribed. Until the next episode, it's bye from me.